Everyone, welcome to the course of Computer Networks. I'm Neha Sharma, Assistant Professor at Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering at Engineering College Jhalawad. So, in the last class we were discussing about the transport layer and we discussed about the UDP. Today we are going to discuss about the TCP protocol, that is Transmission Control Protocol, which is at transport layer of your OSI model. So TCP protocol, Transmission Control Protocol, is called a connection oriented reliable transport protocol. So the UDP, as we have discussed, it was not connection oriented, and it is known to be as unreliable transport protocol, while TCP is having a virtual connection established between your server and your client. It provides a full duplex services, means suppose we have a process at A and another process is running at B, and data is to be, so the data can flow from A to B and from B to A as well at the same time. It is point to point communication, means the connection is between a single server and a single client. There is no multi-point, means one server is not connected to multiple clients. Okay, it is one-to-one sort of connection. TCP uses flow and error control mechanism at the transport level. That's why this is known as your reliable transport protocol. While it was not so in the case of your UDP. So TCP is not an end-to-end TDM or a FDM circuit. TCP is used extensively by many internet applications like your www, email, your FTP, file transfer protocol, secure shell, peer-to-peer file sharing, and streaming multimedia. This streaming multimedia application can also be possible with UDP when you have limited number of resources, when your memory is limited, because TCP requires much more memory for your header. So this TCP, the connection between your client and server, is done through the handshaking process, and this handshaking process is of 3 ways. So we'll talk about it. Suppose first you have a server here. You have a server and you have a client. Okay, so the communication is through the transport layer. So through this transport layer of your client and server, a link will be established. So the client process first informs the client transport layer that it wants to establish a connection to a process in the server. See, I have told you this connection in transport layer we have process to process communication. So it will have connection with the process of the server. Alright. So after that the first TCP segment is sent by the client to the server, and this TCP segment, it ranges from 20 to 60 bytes of your header, which is followed by the data from the application program. In the response, the server will send a second TCP segment to your client, and apart from the 4 fields that was discussed in UDP, like your destination address, your source address, etc., your checksum bits, and the length of the header, there are specialized flags which are dedicated for your handshaking process between your client and server. So in the third TCP segment, which is sent by the client, the payload will also be sent. In the starting 2 segments there will not be any payload. So the third segment is TCP segment will have the payload. What is the format of this segment and what are the information it contains? What are the flags which are basically used in this 3-way handshake process, that we'll discuss in the next slide. So after this third TCP segment payload, the data will be sent, and this whole process is known as your 3-way handshaking process in your TCP protocol. So your typical TCP segment format is of like I told you 20 to 60 bytes, and you can see the source port here. The source and the destination port contains the address, and they are of 16 bits each. Next is your sequence number. So sequence number is again of your 32 bits, and it is used for reliable data transfer, and same is the acknowledgement number. It is also of 32 bits and used for your reliable data transfer process. Next is your header length. This header length, it is of 4 bits, and it specifies length of the TCP header, which is basically a 32 bit of word. Then we have a receiver window or receiving window. It is basically of 16 bits and used for your flow control. Next we have the checksum. It is for your error checking thing. And we have option field. So this option field is quite variable. It is due to this option field, the size of your header ranges between 20 to 60 of bytes. It is used when sender and receiver negotiate the maximum segment size, or as a window scaling factor for use in high speed networks. Next we have these flags. This is urgent, for your urgent data, for your acknowledgement, and this is your for your push service, for your reset, synchronization, and then finish. So these flags are basically used in your handshaking protocol, in your handshaking thing between your client and server, and then you have your application data here. We'll talk about these segments now. The unit of transmission in TCP is called a segment. The header includes the source and destination port number, which are used for multiplexing and multiplexing data from or to upper layer application. The 32-bit sequence number field and the 32-bit acknowledgement number field are used by the TCP sender and receiver in implementing a reliable data transfer service. The sequence number for a segment is the byte stream number of the first byte in the segment. The acknowledgement number is the sequence number of the next byte a host is expecting from the other host. A 4-bit header length specifies the length of the TCP header in 32-bit words. The TCP header can be of variable length due to the TCP options field. The 16-bit receive window field is used for flow control. 16-bit checksum field is used for error checking of the header and data. The unused 6 bits are reserved for future use and should be sent to 0. Urgent pointer is used in combining with the urgent control bit for priority data transfer. This field contains the sequence number of the last byte of your urgent data. Your data, the bytes of the data being sent in the segment. Then these are your flags. URG is for urgent pointer field, which is significant means it is 1 or 0, like that way. Acknowledgement will indicate that the acknowledgement field is significant, means it is 1. This is your push function. It asks to push the buffered data to the receiving application. Then it is RST is for reset the connection. Then sync is for synchronizing sequence numbers. Only the first packet sent from each end should have this flag set. Some other flags and field change meaning based on this flag, and some are only valid for when it is set and others when it is clear. Next is finish, means no more data from sender. It is at last when your connection terminates. Then we use this last finish bit to terminate the TCP connection between your client and server. So in the next class we'll discuss about more of this TCP, about the flow control. Okay, thank you so much.